Hi, I'm Jason, and two whole beef patties, special sauce, lettuce, cheese, pickle, onions on a sesame seed bun. Right with me is Marky.
Spoiler alert, I love peanut butter and jelly.
Have you tried the Crustables without the crust? Those things are awesome. All right, so on Justin TV, we were asked a while back what would be some good comics to get started when you first start reading comic books. Like if you're new to the comic book world, what would you recommend? Um, there's a few. I'll start with the
I
one
say Action Comics issue 1.
and just collect all the back issues. Um, I would have to start off with right now the best one to start yourself if you haven't read comics before and want to get into it would be DC Legacies. It's a 12-part mini and it's going through the history of the DC universe with the Golden Age, the Silver Age, all the way up to the modern age that we're at now. They're on issue number 6, I believe, 5 or 6.
5 sounds right, but maybe it's only because I read up to 5.
Yeah, the last one was Crisis. Um, Basically, that just gives you background on the characters, the sidekicks, some of the bigger names, some of the big events that take place. It's only 12 issues, and it'll get you to a point where you'll understand a little bit more about DC.
I say you get yourself some peanut butter and jelly. That sure is good. All right. I think I'm gonna have to disagree a little bit. It's a great series.
hmm
Um, but I think you gotta latch onto something that is modern and fast paced. So I'm going with Batman Beyond miniseries, and it's gonna be followed by another miniseries. Is what I do believe. Um, Batman Beyond, I think it's only at issue 4. I don't know if it's a 6 or 8 parter,
I think it's a 6.
but it's not been out that long. It's one of the ones where you can track down the issues. They're not going to cost you really anything more. Maybe first issue might be 350 instead of 299 at this point. Um, it's a great series. You get your classic character of Bruce Wayne. He's still in the book, but you get a very updated, flashy looking Batman. Great connection to just more of a youth crowd coming in. I can see young, like adolescents, you know, 9 to 15, latching on very easily to Terry.
Yeah, oh yeah.
I can see them latching on. And if I'm recommending, I assume I'm recommending to a younger crowd. If I'm not, and then I think I would actually agree with you. And I think Legacies is a great starting point, especially for a DC book. If I was going to recommend right now a Marvel book, I would say pick up something Thor before the movie comes out. Thor, the main series, uh, you might want to go back about 5 or 6 issues. So about this far back, so you would have to go with Batman Beyond, right after Siege. And I think Thor's just a good read. He's a character that's very easy to connect to because you know something about him anyways.
Yeah.
He the Viking god of thunder. So you're going to relate to him just on the fact that you have some kind of knowledge to him. Other good ones I think for you to get a hold of would be um, maybe Spider-Man or an Iron Man book, something that you're going to relate to because it's more in the media. You can't go wrong with Batman.
Yeah, but right now Batman's like
Yeah,
all
I was going to say, but Batman's a little confusing right now. But there is Batman Odyssey.
that would be a good one.
Batman Odyssey is kind of cool because it's almost like you get a look into the past of Batman too. So it give you background on Batman, and I think that would be kind of a good starting point. I think independent titles are a good starting point too.
Yeah. Um, actually, Freedom Fighters would actually be fairly good.
Freedom Fighter is a very interesting read.
Yeah. There were two miniseries before Uncle Sam and the Freedom Fighters that you really don't need to read those
I
two.
didn't read them, and I don't feel like I missed anything.
Yeah, and the characters are new to you, but yet,
They're very
yeah,
their powers are so their powers that they're very easy characters to just okay, I know what this character does. I know what this character does.
When Project Superpowers restart with Chapter 3, that might be a good one to start up
I
on.
actually feel so you could, because I don't think you would have had to read chapter one. I feel so they give you enough background.
Yeah, they do.
So I think that you could start it that, and that's a great read. It's real good. Alex Ross, as well as a great artist, it appears he's a great writer.
Yeah. For Image, it would be Hack Slash. They rebooted the series just 4 months ago, so there's a good start. That's for the mature readers. Blood, gore, sex, violence. So for older people, Hack Slash would be a good jumping on
I
through
think
Image.
I think that you could very easily go Spawn from 194 up.
Really?
Yeah,
With all the back history of Spawn?
194 up, you'll pick it right up. You'll be fine. Um, Spawn's not the same guy anymore, so you can almost avoid the back history if you start it. Like I was saying, just 194 up. It's only at 199 right now. And I feel as though graphic novels are the key here to a new reader.
Oh, yeah, to get all your back stuff.
Graphic novels are definitely the key. Certain ones are just great. You could start the Green Lantern series at the Sinestro Corps War.
Yeah.
Um, really, what's a good starting spot for Batman?
Um, Probably Jesus. Because I would say R.I.P., but there's all back history in R.I.P.
Well, R.I.P. worked real good for Karina when she read R.I.P. She seems to know what's going on real well now. She was a little bit lost till she read it.
All right, well then, R.I.P. and just Wikipedia a lot of the stuff you don't understand.
R.I.P. I think you should pick up Hush because he's off and on in the series,
Yeah, but that was 5 years ago when Hush first appeared.
but I think the novel, the
Yeah,
graphic's only
that
like 12.99 or something like that. It's cheaper.
yeah. There's it would be two graphic or hardbound ones.
You
So.
can get them in soft now.
Oh, softbound. Yeah, Hush would be a good start. Uh,
But I think you're right. I think R.I.P. would be a good start, and then if you wanted to know more, pick up maybe Hush.
yeah, R.I.P. Battle for the Cowl, and then I think right now Batman would be too hard to really. Maybe after his return.
I think that you could definitely pick up the Batman and Robin hardcover. It's issues 1 through 6, I believe, and then I think in about 2 months they're going to be releasing 7 through 12, and that would catch you up on Batman and Robin. And I personally didn't feel as though I missed anything starting at issue 1 of Batman and Robin. There were certain things, and I'm like, huh, I don't know who that is, and then I type it into the computer, go, oh, okay, now I know.
And there is a cheaper way of doing it, uh, but you could download back issues. But if you like them, buy them. You know, that's definitely a thing. We want
I
to
I
keep going.
I also think for your sci-fi readers, you could go ahead and go a little bit Marvel. Pick up the Annihil. You could start it. I would start at Annihilation, but I don't think you would have to start until the Annihilation uh, aftermath books, and those are all in graphic novel. Um, you could probably even start at War of Kings, honestly, but I would start at Annihilation War, and they're a fun outer space read, and it runs all the way into what I like to say once a week: Thanos Imperative.
One thing that I really hate to recommend because it's through Marvel Icon. A lot of their comics are really new. Scarlet, Nemesis, the one that came out this week about the kid in the wheelchair that made the wish. But they're through Marvel. They're adult oriented. But they're newer comics. They're really Kick-Ass is through Icon, and they're miniseries.
Kick Ass 2 is actually
So
about to release.
yeah, in October. So there's a jumping. If you like Kick-Ass the movie, get Kick-Ass. Uh, Through IDW, GI Joe, we all know who the characters are of GI Joe. You can pretty much fall into that. What other
Um,
companies?
I'm trying to think if there's anything else that I think would just be an easy pickup. You could pick up Wolverine Goes to Hell in the new Wolverine run. It just started, and I don't think you would be lost at all because whole new
Correct.
storyline.
Yeah.
So I think that would be a good one. Everybody knows who he is. Everybody loves him. No, he's Wolverine. Can't
Yeah.
go wrong. I think that one would be good. Again, I think your graphic novels are your keys because you can pick up like Old Man Logan. You can try out characters. You get a good long read on them, and you can really decide if you like that character or not. And you can read characters through your graphic novels that aren't even really running anymore. You can get Ghost Rider graphic novels if Ghost Rider is something you're into. You can get your Spawn graphic novels, like he was saying. Spawn's got a lot of background history. He's about to release issue 200. Um, but you could start at issue one, and with that, you could do anything really with the graphic novels. I think that is just the way to go.
Yeah.
It's a lot of bang for your buck.
Like The Walking Dead, the TV series is coming out this end of this month. They have all the back issues in graphic novels or trade paperbacks. They even got big ass books. So you could go Borders and pick up those books. So
I also think that your independent walls are going to be a key to newcomers. You can get a lot of things like comedy books, books that are just kind of a little bit off the wall, like Ear Agent, Welcome to Tranquility.
well,
Um, I showed this one on an earlier review. Another comedy book here. You
yeah,
know, for anybody that likes this series, it's actually titled after the band Deathlock instead of the metal or whatever how to say that. And it's actually written by Brendan Small, who is the writer of the cartoon. So you should enjoy it if you like that. Um, there's a lot of things through Boom, IDW, and I think Dark Horse that are very media related. They'll release books off movies,
Star Trek,
um,
Doctor Who.
TV shows,
They're
video
getting
games.
yeah, Dark Stalkers
Yeah.
actually has a comic now, or they had one prior to it.
Uh, they're released. They have a Halo book. They have
So
God
there's
of War.
comics for everyone.
Yeah, that it and I think like I was saying, that independent wall is going to be very key to a newcomer because you can be like, well, I don't know if I like comics, but I love the movies Ghostbusters. There's a Ghostbuster comic. I think it's through IDW, and it's actually pretty good.
Yeah, and the only fault, like if I did have a rant for this, it would be Marvel and DC are so rich in history that you're kind of lost when you first start reading them if you don't know what's going on. You're like, oh, why is this guy doing that? And with the independent wall, as you mentioned, it's still new. It's still, except for Spawn and I guess Savage Dragon. But
Yeah. Um, there are certain characters I think you can walk away with just picking up. I don't think you would be too lost if you picked up a Jonah Hex book.
good point.
Almost every issue is an independent issue. You might want to look for characters like that. Sometimes he'll have like the Six Gun War ran six issues that made a story, but for the most part, it's a one shot issue. It's a one shot issue, but it continuously releases. You might want to go to your store, ask them for a book, something like that, where what's something that I need zero background on. Go ahead and mention Jonah Hex, where each issue is the story
Yeah.
because that's probably the longest running book that is like that.
Uh, Grab an issue one of an independent comic book.
And they're always out.
Yeah,
The
every
one
week.
I showed with Deathlock there, it's brand new. It's just from 2 weeks ago.
And there's always a comic that'll tailor to whatever you like. Uh, Hell, they even have like that comic book tarot that's like really adult oriented. Cave Woman.
Cave Woman,
There's
very adult oriented book. And actually, the storyline behind Cave Woman's not too bad. Trying to find the actual storyline books a little bit harder because they like to release just
my daughter likes
character
that
books.
dog.
Uh, the
Through Marvel.
yeah, Lockjaw
Yeah,
and the Avengers.
there's kids books. There's the Archie books. So you'll be able to find anything for anyone. Just go in,
Darkwing Duck's a great read, and
yeah,
it's only on issue 3 or 4.
yeah. So just go into your comic book store. Don't be afraid of all the scary nerds that are just like lurking in there. They're right in there. And
Grab the preview book. Every comic book store should have one in there. Grab the preview book. Most of the owners they want to sell you books. Go ahead and ask them. Tell them what you like,
yep.
and they can usually recommend you something. And if they don't, Let's do different comic